best part of the deck.
Absolutely.
Always, always, always to me is talking about the creatures.
And they're all goblins, mostly.
Of course. All right, so we first have Rummaging Goblin.
Rummaging Goblin is recurable card draw. So if somebody blows up your board, you get it back. Discarding a card is essentially irrelevant. Discard a goblin that you're not going to cast for a while, and draw a card. And then Wort will bring back your goblin from the graveyard that you just discarded.
Love it.
So it's essentially tap, draw a card.
It's very strong.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. And then we have Goblin Crate Maker.
Crater Maker.
Crater Maker. He makes crates that use.
Destroying a colorless non-land permanent is amazing. You can hit Paradox Engines, you can hit Panharmonicons, you can hit... it's basically artifact removal, but not always artifact removal.
Absolutely. I think being able to do 2 damage to target creature is really strong.
Yeah.
For only 1 mana.
Yeah.
To sack
and
this
then
thing.
You get it back because Wort.
Yeah, absolutely. Gem Palm Incinerator. Funny, I know that there's Gem Palm Polluter, which is the black zombie version. I didn't know that they had a red one
They have
too.
a cycle.
So
there's one for
look
soldiers,
at that.
one for elves, and one for wizards as well.
Look at that, y'all. So if you have any
None
of those
of them
travel
are as
decks. Okay, Gem Polluter, the black one's really good.
Polluter's good, and Incinerator's good, and I don't like any of the other ones.
I feel like with who runs Tribal Wizards, I don't know anyone who has a Tribal
Brad.
Wizards deck. Brad has a Tribal Wizard deck, and then what's the other one? Soldiers? No one runs Soldiers. At least no one that I know.
Soldiers aren't
Soldier
supported
Tribal?
enough.
I don't know. Anyways, this card is so strong.
That card is stupid good. You can cycle it at instant speed, which is awesome.
Yes.
And then blow up somebody's big honking creature, draw a card, and then get it back next turn. That is the card that it keeps on giving.
Yeah. This card is, I don't want to say broken, but like really good.
Really good.
Just really good value. Okay, please tell me, is Goblin Recruiter an expensive card? Because I feel
Nope.
like this card
Couple
should be
cents.
expensive. Okay. Why? This card is amazing. Also, the flavor text makes me really happy.
Yeah,
Next, love
I don't remember, but it's banned somewhere.
I believe it.
Yeah. I don't remember where, though.
Maybe like Legacy or something
I think
like that.
so.
I don't know.
Because it tutors up Kiki, which is awesome.
Mm.
And, Kiki chord combos are always good, but it's very good. You get to search up any number of goblins that you need. Actually, what I usually do with it, since it puts it on top, is I search up Goblin Matron, which is another goblin tutor that we'll get to.
Mm-hmm.
Because that one puts cards into your hand, which is infinitely better.
Yeah.
The good thing about these goblin tutors is that they're recurable, so they die, and then they come back, and then you get to tutor again for whatever you need.
I realized that this card goes to the top of your library.
Yeah.
I thought that it was hand. I was like, oh my god, this card's so dumb. But
Yeah.
this card is still really strong.
It's very good.
Not a whole lot to say here, but
Basically the same exact thing.
Bogart Harbinger, yeah.
Yeah, I put those together.
Yeah, and Goblin Matron too, because they do.
Goblin Matron is infinitely better, though. Because Goblin Matron puts it into your hand, so you can cast it immediately, or at least threaten to cast it immediately.
Yeah.
Harbinger goes to the top, which is still nice. Getting to recur these creatures, though, is really like the meat and potatoes.
Absolutely.
Oh, I forgot this guy was not a goblin, because I never use him as a creature. Sadistic Hypnotist is another sacrifice outlet for free, and it can strip your opponents of any will to live.
And it's a free sack outlet.
It's a free sack
Cool.
outlet. The sorcery speed is relevant, but not hyper relevant. It comes up where your opponent draws a card and they get to play it, but that's it. Very good card. Very good card.
Cool. Skirt Prospector. Isn't this the one card that got a reprint in recently?
Dominaria.
There we go. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is modern legal, but it's very good for ramping. And it's a free sack outlet. That's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. This card is one of the big combo pieces. So this card, sacrifice a goblin to regenerate target creature. You could argue that Skirk Prospector is better, but I like Shuriken better because you can always threaten to regenerate at least half your board in the wake of a board wipe. Keep half of your best things. Regenerate is underrated. Because somebody attacks into you, you can kill it, or if somebody attacks into you with a whole bunch of stuff, you can sacrifice half your board, regenerate the other half so they don't die.
I feel like regenerate is typically not as good if it's on like a creature, unless the creature's just dumb amazing. But I think as a worldwide effect, like global effect of all of your stuff gets regenerate, that's like really good.
Yeah.
Like asceticism, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy can also regenerate himself if he becomes targeted.
That's so dumb. It seems like that should be Eterud to not say that.
Yeah, but it didn't, so he can... Yeah, he's very good.
Yeah, this card would like break.
And you can regenerate creatures that are not dying, too, which is important.
So you can just use it as a sack.
As a sack outlet.
Nice. A lot of free sack outlets here. I really like this card, Mog War Marshal.
It's 3 sacrifice triggers on 1 body. Well, that's the important part.
Yeah.
Getting tokens is nice because that's one of the ways you can close out the game if you're not getting your combo pieces. That's the card.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple.
Makes tokens, does things.
These two should go together.
Is this the combo right here?
That's the combo.
Okay. So we have Murderous Redcap and Metallic Mimic.
So if you don't know what this combo does, you put down the Metal Shapeshifter, and you choose Goblins. So all your Goblins now enter with a +1/+1 counter on it. Murderous Redcap enters, and you deal damage equal to its power to a player. And you use any of your multitude of free sack outlets to sacrifice the Murderous Redcap. Murderous Redcap dies. Persist triggers. It comes back with a -1/-1 counter on it, but Metallic Mimic puts a +1/+1 counter on it. They cancel out, deals 2 damage to somebody, rinse and repeat forever.
Gotcha. I really appreciate you explaining that because, 1, I didn't know actually how the combo worked, and 2, there's some people who may not have known it.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people who are just like, oh, combo you win, but they don't know how the combo works, so thank you for explaining that.
Yeah. Also, Metallic Mimic is just a good card on its own. Typically, you play it right as you win the game, though. You play it as the last one because it's not easily recurable, and people know it's a good card, so they blow it up.
Right.
Redcap is a fine card, but it's really there for the combo.
Absolutely. Cool. Beans. Also just noting that this is a... Oh, it's a shapeshifter. So does this count as a...
It's not a changeling.
Gotcha.
So it's not recurable.
I understand.
This is also part of a combo. Where is
this one and something else?
Yeah. There we go.
Okay. So we got Archfiend of Finality and Goblin Sharpshooter.
Yeah. So this is a soft lock on all creatures. Because how it works is creatures you control have Death Touch, including the Sharpshooter. Sharpshooter taps, deals 1 damage to target creature. The Death Touch causes it to die, and then Goblin Sharpshooter triggers, untapping itself. And then rinse and repeat until your opponents can't have creatures. Archetype of Finality is not a good card without the Sharpshooter. 6 mana, 2/3. It's fine. But really, it's there for the combo.
Yeah. I was funny when I first saw the Archfiend, I was like, why are you running this? But then I was like, okay, this makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
Cool. Sweet. Now we have Bogart Mob.
Bogart Mob is one of the ways to just kill your opponents really fast. Whenever a goblin you control deals damage to an opponent, you get another goblin, and it's not non-token goblin, so your goblin... So it's like a Black Krenko. Yeah.
Interesting. Actually, since you mentioned Krenko, let's just grab Krenko real quick.
Yeah. They're pretty similar.
Card. So strong. So strong.
Yeah, so Krenko is, if you guys don't know, Krenko's a good card. Doubling all your goblins each turn is incredible.
Yeah.
One time, I Krenko'd and had 84 permanents on the battlefield. And that was in response to a Great Aurora. So if you don't know what Great Aurora does, it shuffles all permanents into each player's library, and then that player draws that many cards for each permanent shuffled away and puts all land cards onto the battlefield. Yeah, I was able to get my combos with that.
That's sweet.
That's pretty sweet.
Krenko is great.
Krenko is very good.
Warren Instigator.
That card and Lackey are pretty similar. Warren Instigator is the double strikey version of Goblin Lackey. It's basically just 2 lackeys stapled together. So this is just a way to cheat out a win really fast. You get your high CMC goblins, which, you know, not that many, but there's a couple. And then you have all your permanents out for free, and you still have mana up for removal or more goblins. It's just a way to win faster.
Absolutely. These cards are extremely strong.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. This card is also extremely strong. Goblin War Chief.
Yeah. The most important part of that is reducing the cost of your goblins by 1, because getting them out as fast as possible and as many as possible is important. But giving them haste is not unimportant. There's a couple tap abilities, like you can Krenko immediately off of this, which feels really good.
And Krenko costs 1 less, it only costs 3.
Yeah.
Which is cheap, so.
Yeah.
Cool beans. Siege Gang Commander. God, you have so many sack outlets. This one you actually do have to pay for, though.
Yeah, this one is not a free sack outlet. It's only it's one of my only non-free sack outlets. But that's fine because it also gives you 3 tokens on top of it. So that's 4 bodies of sacrifice. And then getting to sacrifice itself, which it can do with its own ability. You can recur it each turn and deal 2 damage to whatever. It's very good.
I like this card a lot. Makes tokens too, which is awesome. Grenzo.
The old commander.
Yeah.
Grenzo is a lot like Disrupt Decorum, where it's more there for the pet aspect of it, but it's still a really strong card.
Absolutely.
At 2 mana, it's a bear at worst, and then you also get to goad your opponent's creatures to make them attack, but can't attack you. Or you can cast your opponent's deck. You can play your opponent's deck, which is very fun. Grenzo's sweet, especially with a board full of tokens.
I love Grenzo. This is actually, I'm going to build goblins. This is going to be my commander.
Yep.
Goblin King.
Goblin King is really good.
Yeah.
I used to run Blood Moon in this deck when it was mono red, which was a little silly with Goblin King.
Nah, it's fine.
Giving all your creatures +1/+1 and unblockable. It's fine. It's definitely fair.
I love this card.
That card is super sweet.
Cool. I guess we could have talked about these together, but we have Mad Auntie. The flavor of this card too is pretty great.
Yeah. Mad Auntie is cool. She's a lord, which is of course always amazing. Getting to regenerate your goblins is also amazing. Just value on top of value.
Absolutely. Oh, yes.
Perforos is such a good card.
Especially with the amount of recursion. It's just, this card is busted.
Yeah, with that, or Krenko, or Bogart Mob, just...
You have multiple avenues to win in this deck, which I really like. You have 2 infinite combos. You have Perforos, so you have attacking, like...
Yeah.
You have Grenzo, which means you can just cast your opponent's library. Like, you got, 15 ways you could win.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's very important because, Bajuka Bog...
is a real magic card.
It hurts.
Yes.
It hurts your soul.
Yes. As a frequent fan of that card, but also as a person who's been hurt by that card. Yeah. Kind of like, it feels like Bajuka Bog's playing for the wrong team when it ever goes against me. Goblin Chieftain.
Goblin Chieftain here is another lord that gives haste.
And +1/+1.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if you can see the flavor text there, but that is some of my favorite flavor text in Magic.
I can't see, because I'm sitting at a weird angle and we're sitting on the floor. But it says, "We are goblin kind, heirs to the mountain empires of chieftains fast. Rest is death to us, and arson is our call to war."
Because goblins are... All of their flavor texts makes them look dumb and, they just want to break things. But this shows the other side of goblins, where they're actually, tacticians. I love that.
I love your analysis of that card. That was great. Goblin Ringleader.
Goblin Ringleader is a stupid strong card.
Yeah.
Some of the best things you can do off of it is like recruit 4 goblins to the top, play Ringleader, and get to draw 4 cards.
I'm like a huge fan of that.
Honestly,
that's amazing.
Just getting like a 2/2 body and drawing a card, it's good enough.
You know, wait, hold up. Did you say you get the goblin card that where you tutor?
Mm-hmm.
And then you put this on top?
You tutor for 4 goblins.
Yeah.
Any goblins you want with Recruiter. Put them on top. And then you play Ringleader.
Yes. Okay.
Real
Cool.
top 4.
I just wanted to make sure that I heard you right. Yeah.
Yep.
It's really good.
It's really good.
Cool. Then we have Squee.
There's Squee.
Yeah.
His old art glory.
Looks like Yoda.
Yeah, he does look like Yoda. He's really good because he can return. He can be a sack outlet if you need to sacrifice stuff for whatever effects, and then he returns himself. So you don't even need Wort's trigger. He's just a sacrifice and come back every turn.
Triggers for a million things, Perforos, all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Infinite sack outlets, super good.
Yeah.
Almost done. We got 2 more cards. I love just Goblin Trash Master. Like, I want to be a Trash Master. That sounds hilarious.
That's a great profession.
I love it. Guys, I'm no longer going to make YouTube videos. I'm going to be a Trash Master now. Okay, whatever that means.
So, Danny DeVito here is an amazing Magic card. He's a lord, so he gives all your goblins +1/+1.
Yeah.
And he's a free sacrifice outlet as long as your opponents have trash to break.
I think I just love this card for the flavor. I feel like this is a great pet card.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. And the last card is Frog Tosser Banneret. I want to be a frog tosser. Can I be a frog tossing trash master?
You can. Follow your dreams.
Yeah,
this is like the other cards that reduce other goblins by 1. It also reduces rogues, but there is like 1 rogue and it's also a goblin, so that doesn't even matter.
Hashtag doesn't matter. Yeah.
Rogue
But
tribal though,
yeah.
it'll get there.
One day it might. Paul will build it if there's because he's a rogue. So yeah.
So getting Word out turn 3 is good. Yeah, because she's on 4, but getting out on turn 3 is like a huge deal.
I feel like this deck is really strong. Also, I don't know the cost, but once we get this deck up, you guys can definitely see it. I think you could realistically build goblins for very cheap though. So
I do run a lot of foils, but it is a pretty penny because I run the shocks, I run the fetches.
Which we didn't talk about the mana base, but yeah.
The only notable land is Westvale Abbey, and that's just a good card.
Yeah.
Other than that, there's Demonic Tutor, which is it's a little bit.
$20. Eldrazi Monuments like 10, 12 or whatever.
Yeah. But you don't need all those. Like Eldrazi Monument and Demonic Tutor, you don't need those cards to win.
They just make your deck significantly better.
Yeah.
It's like yeah.
Really, you just need mostly the goblins are the important part, and they're goblins. They're super cheap.
Yeah.
And then a couple of the removal. I jam-pack my decks with removal. I feel like it's important, and a lot of that removal is super cheap, too.
Yeah.
I can't think of, like, any of them that are over a couple bucks.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
I mean, like, too, you could do, like, a Damnation for this deck for more, like, board wipes if you wanted to go more board wipe heavy, but, yeah.
Yeah.
Closing words on this deck?
Wort is super fun. It's my favorite deck to play. Getting to pump out swarms of goblins, it just feels so good.
Yeah, I think, like, too, and I also feel like seeing this deck in paper and the cards, like, is very different from actually seeing this play out. Like, really seeing, like, how much you can go off and how much you can tutor in this deck and how much you can get the pieces that you need. Like, I think it may not look as overpowered. You may be like, okay, you got a bunch of, like, jank 1/1s, like, whatever. Like, it's like, no, like, there's so much more that goes into this deck than I think maybe initially.
Yeah,
if you're not familiar with how this deck runs.
Each of the goblins do a decent thing. A lot of them do a decent thing when they enter. Like drawing cards or getting to tutor, which is good. But it's really good when you do it multiple times in a game.
Yes.
It's like you're not even playing Commander.
And on the same turn, too. Yeah. Like, doing that is, like, really busted, so
It's very strong when you actually play it.
Yeah.
Don't mess with the goblins.
Yeah. Logan, thanks for hanging out with me, and I hope you guys like this video, and that's all I got to say.
Yeah.
Bye.